What's going on, video game voting Vanguard? It's your boy P City Substance here with another episode of Anime Mondays. So, as announced last week, we saw the highly anticipated premiere of season 2 of One Punch Man, and it was found exclusively on Hulu. Hulu has exclusive rights to season 2 of One Punch Man for whatever reason. Now, it's not dubbed. There's no date of when it will be dubbed over into English, so subtitles. So, as you guys know, I'm not a fan of subtitles because sometimes the dialogue can go too fast and you miss it. And I feel like I spend more time reading the words versus actually paying attention to the episode. But I felt obligated and led to watch it since it's so highly anticipated and give you guys a review and a reaction to it. So this episode is called Return of the Hero. So it starts off with a Saitama and Genos walking in town, look like they're just running regular errands, and you hear a scream from some girl, and she encounters a monster with like a long enormous tongue. It's really weird. And so he's basically like trying to lick little girls or girls in general. I don't know, younger, but they look like, I guess, teenagers, which is it's mad weird. You know what I'm saying? So like, some anime can be known to be dirty and have little underlying things, and I've seen One Punch Man to do a lot of strange things with their characters. So anyway, strange enough. So you got this guy appears with scars on his face, and he kind of has an aura, and the crowd and the onlookers start looking, and the monster notices the guy, and I guess it's now known to us that this guy that stops his monster in tracks, his name is King. He's a Class S rank 7 hero that in some time between season 1 and season 2 passes Saitama in the ranking, and that alone got this monster scared, and he basically runs off. So Genos and Saitama notices him, and basically Genos explaining that King had surpassed Saitama within the rankings. So they kind of was paying attention and observing his actions, and maybe get to see a battle. Then you see like this dude looks like this big robotic guy, looks like a transformer. His name is G4. He's a machine god that was created by the organization. He's basically sent to do like tests and analysis, and he wanted to fight King at full level. So you hear King say something like, "I gotta use the John," and which I'm realizing after watching the episode, I'm able to identify that as bathroom. So they do a cutscene, goes show King in the bathroom, and he's like sweating bullets. He's scared. He's basically explaining how he's scared and that this whole thing is a fluke, because he always ends up in these places where these monsters appear, and then someone else gets the credit. Well, he gets the credit for someone else basically beating up the monsters. So now they think that he's this big hero, and he's really not. And you later on find out through the episode that Saitama actually saved him twice in season 1. So he kind of was reaping the benefits of Saitama's work. So he's scared, and he ends up running off, and Genos ends up fighting G4. He ends up winning, and he ends up taking like his well, even before that, let me back up. I missed an important point. Like with King, I guess when G4 arrived and they kind of interacted with one another when they first come across each other, you hear like this beating drum sounds like a kick drum, and apparently that's what's known as the they call it the King engine. It's basically that happens when he's about to go into battle. That's what the bystanders are saying. So while in the bathroom, when King is afraid, he's basically saying like that's all fluke. It's bullcrap. So what I take from that is that's actually his heart beating through his chest, and everybody can hear it because he's actually scared. So anyway, Genos is fighting G4. He ends up winning, and then Genos takes parts of G4 back to a doctor that I now know as Dr. Casano. And I guess that's the doctor that built Genos. As you guys know, Genos is a cyborg. So I guess he's the one that put him together. And then later on, you find a little bit more out about King. He's basically, all he is a 29-year-old unemployed person, and everyone else is has been doing the work, and he's been reaping the benefits. Is not something that he necessarily wants though. He was actually on his way home to play a video game, so it was strange enough. And Dr. Cassano, back to Geno's, you kind of see them. You get a little bit of insight about Geno's past and like not necessarily where he comes from, but basically like the person who made him. And he's observing Geno's. He's saying that initially Geno's was supposed to have been avenging his town. Some monster came and destroyed his town, and I guess the other cyborgs from where Geno's was from. And the doctor is observing how Genos has now he's found a mentor, and he's saying that he's more dedicated to being a hero versus that. But you see that Geno still has that passion to avenge what took place at his town. So you see King run home, and he gets home. He's afraid. He's like, these monsters keep popping up everywhere I'm at. How do I get rid of them? And so he's like, man, I play video games to get off my mind. So he puts this video game in. It's funny because it's like something doing with some hot girls, which anime constantly alludes to. So it's funny. So he's playing the game, and it's like this scene where on the game he's like, hey, big fella, what's your name? So he didn't want to use his hero name or whatever. So you just hear someone say, won't you just name him King? He's like, oh, well, I think that's cool, but it'd be kind of lame or something. Not realizing Saitama sitting behind him. So he never realized Saitama got his house. So King's all afraid. He's like, how'd you even get in here? He was like, the window's open. So anyway, they start playing the game, and basically King explains to Saitama that, basically everything's a fluke. And a monster appears at King's house, and he's basically trying to kill him, and Saitama stops him. And the whole time, King is kind of having this conversation with himself, and Saitama basically asks him, is it true? And basically, in so many words, King admitted to the fact that he's kind of just been in these places. And at that moment is when King realized that Saitama has saved him at least on 2 occasions in season 1. So that was interesting enough. And you see them kind of, Saitama and King kind of building a friendship when they're playing video games. And he realized that, for Saitama to be this highly classed hero is just a normal guy that plays video games that we all know Saitama to be. It was just kind of strange to him. So they continue like playing games and kind of hanging out with each other a little bit. Then at the end of the episode, you see a gentleman named Sitch. I guess he's part of the organization. He calls it seems like a bunch of like misfits and ex-cons to this meeting at the organization, and he's explaining that that this huge threat that was spoke about at the end of season 1 will be coming to the planet. They're basically trying to get everybody that they can on their side. And you see one particular person in particular whose name is Speedo Soundsonic, who we see in the season 1, who doesn't like Saitama, wants to fight him, and basically he declines to help Stitch out. Walks out. He's walking home. He's talking about how he wants to find Saitama and he's going to pay for what he's done. And then the same token, you also see Miss Blizzard appear, and she is I think class S rank 1. She's also looking for Saitama. A lot of people have Saitama has a target on his back because of how fast he came into the association and how fast he ranked up. And as far as like his test scores, they were the highest out of the physical portion that's ever been done. So he has a target on his back. So at the same time, different parts of the town, they're both looking and saying that they want to do battle with Saitama. So that's how that episode ends. So my overall opinion about season 2, episode 1, I would say it's pretty good. To me, it's starting off better than last season. There's a little more dialogue. You're gonna see, from what I can tell, you're gonna see like a lot more background about the characters, how they were made. And it seemed like I'm guessing the battle's gonna be a little more interesting. You're gonna get to know the characters a lot better. So far so good. So kudos to them, the creators of One Punch Man, and hopefully they capitalize on this and don't keep people waiting 3, 4, 5 years for the next season. So if you don't have Hulu, I would definitely pay for that right now. That way you're able to keep up with season 2 of One Punch Man. If not, you can check out the reactions and reviews right here on the Video Game Votary. So I want to thank all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right down below. Hit that thumbs up for the like button. Turn the bells on for the notification. Also check out the Video Game Votary website, thevideogamevotary.wordpress.com. Also check out the Video Game Votary podcast. That's available on all podcast platforms, including Apple. Don't forget to rate each episode. The higher you rate on Apple, it domino effects on the rest of the podcast and basically moves us up along the rankings. So I appreciate all the help and support that you guys have been doing. If you want to donate to the Video Game Votary, we have not reached the threshold of subscribers or view time for the Video Game Votary channel to receive any type of royalties from YouTube just yet. So if you want to donate to the Video Game Votary, help with equipment, trips to cons and expos, things of that nature, log on to www.patreon.com/Video Game Votary right now. You can donate directly to the Video Game Votary. There's no set amount. I'm not asking for a same amount. Whatever you can donate will ultimately be appreciated. I appreciate it all. So we're going to end the episode on that note. This has been another episode of Anime Mondays. It's your boy P City Substance, and we right here on the Video Game Votary.